This is the most important skill in basketball.
Nobody's really lighting it up. Whoa! From the other county, and Kobe's step back, trying to draw another foul, and it goes in! Oh, Steph Curry!
Incredible and one.
For the win! Yes, sir!
I believe shooting is the most important skill in basketball because it unlocks so many opportunities and avenues down the road for you. You're always going to be an offensive threat on the floor, and defenses are going to have to look out for you, which opens up more opportunities for your teammates. Think about it. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, he creates so many opportunities because there's so much gravity on him, man. Like, they can't leave him wide open for 1 second. I hear folks, they have to guard Steph Curry at the parking lot because of how deadly of a shooter he is. And that's why I believe shooting is more important than dribbling, defense, and athleticism. I think shooting is number one, and all those other skills are secondary. Another player that I like following is Kyrie Irving. Yes, you guys are mesmerized by him snatching people's ankles, putting people on the floor, embarrassing them. But the reason why he can get away with that is because he's an elite shooter. Kyrie Irving's shooting is very underrated because there's plenty of ways he can get his jump shot off. He gets it off by dribble pull-ups, one dribble pull-ups, jab steps, catch and shoot. Like, he can do it all. The problem is people are so distracted by the way he can dribble. And that's what gets on the highlights on ESPN and House of Highlights, not his amazing shooting like Steph Curry. Not saying Kyrie Irving is a better player than Steph Curry, but he's unique because if you leave him wide open, he's going to shoot the ball. But if you play too close to him, he's going to break your ankles and go off for a layup. So that's why shooting is so important because it just gives you so many avenues that you can do. Especially if you're a guard, you got to be able to dribble. And nowadays, if you're undersized, you have to be able to shoot because if you're not 6'8" and can't run an offense, you better be sitting in that corner ready to shoot the ball. That's all I gotta say for real in this generation of basketball. So there is a 1% of athletes that can get away with shooting, and those guys are a Shaquille O'Neal, a Giannis, a prime Russell Westbrook, a prime John Wall, and I'm gonna say it, man, and a prime Ben Simmons, bro. Those guys can get away with that because those guys are genetic freak athletes and they exert so much attention going downhill and they create a lot of gravity with defenders and they open up opportunities for teammates to actually shoot the ball. Some of you guys are not going to get to that point. I'm sorry. And you want to know why? Well, biology. But what you can't control is being consistent as a shooter. And that goes by shooting the ball, at least getting up 300 shots a day. If you're in high school and college, that goes up. And if you're a professional, obviously, that goes up even more. But rule of thumb for somebody like me, who can't really, is not trying to go pro, 300 shots a day is a good rule of thumb. And if you want to amp it up, by all means, go ahead if you feel like you can do that. But shooting is something you will never master. You have to keep doing it
again and again and again
and again until you feel comfortable in your shot and you feel confident that you can be a consistent shooter in game. But what I love about basketball is there's always room for improvement. So if you miss a week of basketball and your shot's off, well, you gotta go back in the gym and do it again and get better. So that's why, there's always room for improvement, especially with shooting, playmaking, dribbling, and defense. Statistically, you can look up those areas where you can improve at. And that's why I love basketball so much. Now, I would put defense number one if shooting was not so important. But now in today's game, it's at a premium. You have to have elite shooters to do what you want. Like, the best players get double teamed so much that they need somebody that can knock down shots consistently. Like, you look at guys like Kevin Durant, LeBron, like, if those guys get double teamed, they really need guys that can shoot. I just don't understand why. Again, in my last video, I explained why everybody wants to be the #1 option and everybody wants the ball hog. But if you mastering one skill, that will benefit you in the long run. Like LeBron even said it, if you can knock down threes consistently in the corner, you can make $100 million a year doing that with the CBA agreement in the NBA. Like, you can make so much money by just sitting in the corner and shooting. Like, huh? Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, sign me up for that. You're telling me all I got to do is just sit in the corner, bro? That's easy money. But that's why shooting is so important, because sometimes you're not going to be the best player and sometimes you're not even going to be the second best player. So you got to get to a role on offense, and this is probably one of the best ways to do it if you can't defend, which you really should be working on your defense, by the way, but I'm just saying. Shooting is always going to be a priority, and it should be a priority if you want to stay on the floor on offense and not be a liability. So the way I practice shooting is 10 shots in each spot. So those spots include the corners, the wings, and the top of the key. Shout out Cash Nasty, because that's his favorite spot. And if you want to lock up Cash Nasty, don't let him shoot from the top of the key. Very simple. But he is really strong, so good luck with that. But that is a good foundation, because that's at least 100 shots if you do 50 from 3 and then 50 from the mid-range. But I know you guys don't like volume shooting. You guys probably think it's boring, but I like volume shooting because I can think through each shot I take. I just don't take a shot and then I'm like, oh man, I missed. Okay, oh, I made it. Okay, cool. No, I actually think thoroughly on what went right, what could I've done better in order to become more effective. You see what I'm getting at? That's how you become more efficient, and that's how you actually really perfect your form. So a drill that I advise you if you don't like volume shooting is the 3-minute drill and the 2-minute drill. The 3-minute drill is you have a partner and they throw you the ball and you just try to hit 2 consistent 3-point shots spot, and you can't leave that spot unless you hit 2 in a row, and you go around the world and you try to beat it in 3 minutes. This is a great drill because this will see if you're really effective as a shooter and you're really a marksman, or if there's some areas you definitely need to improve on. And it's time sensitive, so you really work on like in-game situations. So that's another way to really, I can't even say it, really improve your shot. That's what I've been trying to get out. But guys, like, when you shoot and you're practicing, really think on what went right and what went wrong and what you can improve on, because that's what Steph Curry does with his trainer. I've seen him when he practices with his trainer. When he gets shots up, it's like, oh my gosh, like, now I see why he's so methodical. And that's how you guys need to be when you're really practicing your shot. I can't really show you the way of how to become a great shooter like Steph Curry, but there are clues. So if you really want to become better, that's how you got to assess yourself when you're practicing shooting. Oh, and before I forget, that drill I just mentioned to you guys, I got that from the Mid-Range, one of the best basketball channels right now for YouTube. If you really want to learn how to become a better basketball player, I would really check his channel out. He does amazing work there. And he looks at 1v1 stuff on his second channel. But guys, I gave you the blueprint to become a better shooter. And some of you guys may think, oh, it's boring, Chris, it's boring. Oh my gosh, it's so boring getting up volume shots. But the great ones like the boring stuff. They like the mundane, because you got to have a routine if you want to be great. And that's what you have to do in order to become an elite shooter. Because if you don't like doing that, then I don't know what to tell you. But speaking of basketball, I did mention about the ball hogs that we have here in America and what we can do to stop it. If you want to check that my bad. If you want to check that video out, I'll have it right here, and I'll see y'all on the other side. Channel, like, bro, what channel? Bro, come on now.